Good morning, folks. I hope everything is streaming okay. I would like to show you what I've been seeing this morning over Europe. This is Luxembourg. Would you look at the gilt? These are chemtrails. They don't dissipate as they should quickly. You know, by definition, a contrail should disappear if it was natural. Within a minute, even 30 seconds, as it becomes closer to the temperature of the atmosphere around it, its ability to hold a moisture condensate as water vapor goes away or dissipates. And this is just goes on the whole time. It just stays there, spreads out like this one here. Like you get one line would come a line. If you look up, you'll see this happening wherever you are in the world, because I've documented this all over the planet. I have. I went and looked with my own eyes, and I had to tell people about it. So this is when one spreads out. And look how much sunshine it takes away. This one curved one here is very obvious. The shadow it's put down on the ground. And those trees are then robbed of sunlight. The trees that are often pushed as we must save them are actually being toxified. As you look at this mix here over near Joinville, streamering off. A big payload here and it just streamers off. Put something here and the wind will do the rest. Yeah, or electromagnetic frequency can aim things. Excuse me, I've got the sniffles. See how that chemtrail there is just there? Can a plane travel from some of these vast distances from here to here in a minute? Alright, that's not a small amount of space. I'll show you. Today I just thought I'd do a different kind of presentation. I'll give this to you in miles. Now we'll go with clicks. We're just gonna measure a distance, right? We're gonna go from here to here, right? If a plane's traveling 500 miles an hour, that's just under a half an hour's flight time. That should have long since dissipated, right? Long since dissipated, but it hasn't. It hasn't. It's just persisted. It's just there. It hasn't gone away. They haven't gone away. Want to do it again? I'll do it again. Watch. I'll do a different one. Right? If it hasn't dissipated in 5 minutes, something's been put in the atmosphere that makes the condensate last longer. You know, that one there, 40. 10 minutes, roughly. About 9 minutes for that one to dissipate naturally. I'm just doing this in my head. Oh, it's going to make me do it every time. No, really, I can just show you. I've done this for years. Look at this one. We'll do this one again. And then I think I've made my point. What about this one? Did you fly from here to here in a minute? Same, 40. Blah, I'm seeing a pattern here. Seeing a pattern. Seeing a pattern. Seeing a pattern. You know, 100 kilometers long. Come on, that's not 1 minute's flying time. That's not 5 minutes flying time. It's much more than that. That should have dissipated. Right, but all of these in this area all at once is a horrendous scene. When I zoom out, you get a full extent picture of the chemical toxification of our planet. You'll see that the Paris Accords wanting to block our sunlight is an unsound idea. It's an indecent proposal and it needs to be scrapped. Not to mention the taxes it's going to cost us all. The debt is already off the ceiling from this COVID experience. We're owed money for something we had no choice about. The chemtrails are horrific, and if I go over here toward Belgium, Paris, they caught it. See, I'm going to go out here into the ocean. You know, because we have to modify the ocean. This stuff will go somewhere else. This will fall out over the land. It's falling out over the ocean. It's blocking sunlight, as evidenced by the shadowed area here, from this massive, undisclosed, right? I'm gonna zoom in on this one for a minute. Look at the square form to this, right? It's not big and round. It's going every direction possible. But yet the wind wouldn't be going in all these directions at once. It wouldn't. So something in the middle here has caused something to flow this way and this way. And I showed that type of method of chem bomb deployment in my video I did the other day over Canberra. Look at the square to this here. If you were standing on the shore, you'd say, oh, it's a fog bank. But if you look up, if you go and look up and look down, you'll see the squarenesses that don't occur very often in nature. You know, squares do happen, but not all the time. And well, we have to confront this squarely. This is the toxification of our world. This is unacceptable. Something is deployed here, the shock wave of it going out clears the area like a ring going across the ground during an explosion. You see a shock wave from sudden pressure changes. Boom, high pressure from the explosion wave, and then the low pressure sudden inflow creates a shock wave. Look, boom. I'll try to explain that better in a different video. I don't like how that came out. Right, another way you could tell is look how evenly spaced where what I call the coma, the center of whatever it is that's fizzing off or effervescing in our atmosphere. And you'll notice evenly spaced deployments. There's a very obvious one in Australia. You'll have to excuse me. I'm very sniffly. I'm going to fix this. So I'll have a quick and that's better. Look at all the chemical deployments here. Boom, 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 boom. And I've called these boom, boom plumes for the years. And in the Paris Accord governance document, it clearly says they're going to use an artillery method. And this is the artillery method when you see those big plumes. See another square in this hazed out area here. Another right turn Clyde. And big squares of electromagnetic frequency off the coast of Eastbourne and Brighton. And we're going to get a very, very powerful storm. Call it a hurricane. There's going to be a hurricane in England come Wednesday. Right, are you hearing about it on the news yet? A hurricane is determined by wind speed. Anything above 73 mile an hour wind speed of a sustained storm is a hurricane. A hurricane isn't the shape of the storm. It's the sustained winds of the storm determine it. Just like a gale goes up to categories up to hurricane strength. No, it goes up to tropical storm strength. A tropical storm has its scale. That leads to the hurricane definition. So it is a hurricane coming. Look at the square of this right here. Electromagnetic perturbation of the atmosphere with insertion of chem. Boom, 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 boom. Evenly spaced deployments. Hold a ruler up to some of these deployments. You'll see what I'm talking about. Ireland's going to bear the biggest brunt. You know, as I go over here to St. Anne's, Joburg, whatever you pronounce that. Another great big old chemtrail here. And these here are this electromagnetic frequency. I call them microwave popcorn clouds. Because it takes a microwave to make it. That's another evidence of electromagnetic frequency. I don't see that thick ball of white streamering off. That's telling me they're just doing a small manipulation of that cloud area there locally. Now I'm just reading it off because we're going to get a hurricane here. Yep. This is you watching me do a view. Look at this area here, off where it's off Guernsey. This is just nastification of the planet. This is funkatizing my seas. Boom, 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 streamering off. This deployment is different than the electromagnetic frequency one. Evenly spaced, even spaces. Boom, 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 boom. This must be its initial deployment because this hasn't streamed very far yet. So they caught this just as it happened. Boom, streamer this way. Boom, streamer in that way. One going over the top here. Big square underneath that of energy making. Oh my. Chemtrails are real, and they label things, people that call things real and true, that are true, as nutcases and stuff. Well, this nutcase here will tell you the truth. And you got a lot of magnetics going on here, EMF. Big line of it here to the west of Belfast. You see it in the upper levels of the clouds. Poor Ireland. I love visiting Ireland. That was really cool. And here's the storm. See the square here? And that little break in the clouds. This is man-made. There'll be one here too. Where's the third one? They're using a 3 method. Right here. There's the third one. I was looking for them. The hazed out areas where they hit it with some energy. And they hit it again. And the deployment of the chem did that. You'll be seeing that rectangle on your radars if they show it honestly. The CGI, computer generated graphic world that we live in. Boom, 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 boom. More chem nasties. Big localized deployment here. I'll zoom in, it'll go fuzzy, but you can see the centering and the outside deployment area of that chem bomb. Chem bombs suck. They just fucking don't. Pardon my language. I was trying not to swear. Any kids listening, don't swear like me. Evidently, it's frowned upon. I'm sorry, I don't do political correctness. Evenly spaced. Boom, boom, boom. Get a ruler up. Go to NASA Worldview and look for yourself. Right? Determine this for yourself. Use your eyes. Use your mind. Use your mind. That's not naturally puffy white cloud that Bob Ross would paint. That's the nasty cloud that our oppressors paint. Tie your kangaroo down, boys. Tie your kangaroo down kind of cloud. And that one's streamering off. So right, you're very curious. That's the 12th. That's the setup. Today, the last image I have is total haze out. Right? I told you I'm going to cover Europe. So as I go in here over the Bay of Biscay, and this area here is a huge geoengineering control area. Set high pressure up just right here. All storms will go up and over Scotland. Set the high pressure down here. All go in toward Paris and Europe. Yep. Then put the high pressure right here, and the rain in Spain is caused mainly by the plains. Yep. As evidenced here. There's a chemtrail going right through this mix. Here to here, definitely as determined before. They're not dissipating quick enough. So by definition, they're not a contrail. By the science's definition, at least. Those old charts that they made don't just go away data-wise. So that's par for the course for our oppressors. As evidenced by the increasing levels of what is safe radioactivity-wise for our bodies to absorb radiation. As the toxic world becomes more toxic, they've raised the level so they can get away with it. Go up. You'll see. It's all about statistics and lying with them. More square form clouds here. And you could just see it. You got chemtrail, chemtrail. I'll let that focus. And I hope this video is working out alright. If it isn't, let me do it again some other way. Microwave popcorn, got a triangle cloud here. Not naturally occurring cloud formations. So you get my point? In this area of chem here. Right? We're going up. Jeez, what a mess. Have you seen it yet? Can you see it with your eyes yet? If you look close enough, you might see yourself. And if you see yourself, you know you're breathing this too, because it goes around the whole world. Yeah, evenly spaced deployment plumes. Something came along here in this line, and its deployment is now streaming off nanometallic things that react in the electro soup of plasma that we live in. Evenly spaced, boom, 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 boom. And this might be purely a deployment for wave propagation. Barium and strontium propagate waveforms of electromagnetic frequency better than just water. And well, it oxidizes in the atmosphere, it falls out, and what could possibly go wrong? I don't know. We're all feeling sick when we have days like this over the top of us. This one's for Europe. I might do another weather report as data comes in for Australia and Canberra. Look at this here, at this image here. You see how this looks like? It's hexagonal, the whole form. And a lot of the emitters of lasers that they can use to modify the weather are also have a hexagonal mirrors in them. So you end up with this kind of shape. When it puts its energy on a mass of chem that's already there. How can I say the chem's already there? Look at it. Chemtrail, 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 chemtrail. Wind don't blow in squares. It just don't. And this must be confronted squarely. Chemtrail, chemtrail, hit by energy. Hit by energy over here. And these are going to create specific rotations. If this is hot in this hemisphere, it'll turn in this direction. So this stuff will be kicked up like this. Now this one's also spinning in that direction. So this one's going, and this one's going. So as this is coming down, there's almost like a friction created right here. And that'll be a pinch point for storms and outflows. So if you get some bad weather through here, I'm not going to be surprised. There's the textbook move that does it. Energy and chemical deployment. Energy and chemical deployment. Chemical deployment. Chemical deployment. Use your eyes. Look at it. Look. Chemtrails are real. They just try to tell us they're not. Just like no vaccine is safe, and they try to tell us they are safe. Well, this is in your sky every day. I've gone around the entire planet twice, telling you people in person about this, giving you the opportunity to sit next to me, and I'll show you. So, I can't prove it any better than that. It's the best I could do. See the turn that made? Now that one's really short. Now I could say that could dissipate in that amount of time, right? So I won't count that one. Right, because we got to remain objective. That's what the truth does. We have to consider all the that mist that comes off the forest at certain times of day, and we have to think of these things when we're looking at cloud masses. But when you see one that's bent like that, you know that geoengineering has occurred. Geoengineering is real, and while it's toxifying our entire planet, all of us, this is our family picture. This is the last family picture available. This will be today in Australia. This is now. This is all of us. And all of us say no, even to the big, great spirit of the universe. I think it'll stop. We must say no. We must withdraw our consent. We must not march in parades at Asphers for these things. That's usually indicative of a pulse, by the way. It's only in that one pass. So, are we going to fix this? Are we going to look up? Or are we going to look down at our phones and only see the reflections of our own faces instead of reflecting our existence upon this planet in a really beautiful, positive way? We cannot allow this to continue. It can't be allowed. Just can't. This is beyond criminal. This is beyond wrong. This is geoengineering. And I do not consent. Big love. Peace.